in what you're exploring at the moment, and just in terms of what you're seeing brings meaning, is there anything that makes you particularly optimistic?
I'll give you two answers. I think the first is a fairly clear answer. Then the second one, I'm going to try and do another one of these kind of like funny little leaps, right? The first one is love, right? I think that the key, I mean, I'm not going to jump ahead because I think at the end of this, you're going to ask me this question. So I'm just foreshadowing a little bit. One of the components, most important component to my answer is love and be loved, right? To love others, allow yourself to be loved, love yourself, right? This kind of reciprocal flowing of love, I think. And I see this everywhere, right? I see this everywhere in my life. I see this everywhere in the world. I see this even in dark, crappy things and people that I really vehemently disagree with, right? Wouldn't name names, but there's people that you sort of look at them and the way they reflect themselves in public and the things they do and say, you're sort of like, God, how can you possibly believe that? At the same time, then sometimes you see this moment of them holding their kids or walking with their spouse or something like that. And you know that love is there, right? And so the thing that gives me hope is love. I'll fall back with a little, that was kind of deep. Let's sit that for a second. Yeah. All right, now here's my kind of somewhat goofy orthogonal answer, which is AI. AI gives me hope. And the reason AI gives me hope is because I think that one of the challenges of our modern world is the performative nature of everything that we do. This kind of fakery, this intermediated fakery of online, I get to tell you all these things about myself that are true or not true or whatever. I talk a lot in the context of human resources. I used to do a lot of that work and talk to groups of people. And I say, AI is going to come and your performance evaluation, which is written by your manager once a year who tries to figure it out a week before it's due and cuts and pastes a bunch of stuff and does it in this very performative way. Well, now AI is going to help that manager do that. And so she can rely upon the AI to help her write it. And what used to be a page is now going to become 5 pages, right? Because, boop, press the button and wow. And it's actually going to be much better, right? It's going to be much clearer and succinct. And because this thing is tracking all the emails you ever sent, it's tracking all it'll know it's listening to all of our meetings. It'll have really interesting, useful feedback for you. But it's going to be too long. And so you're going to take that and you're going to put it through your AI system and it's going to chew at this thing. It's going to be 3 bullet points that your manager could have just told you. And so I believe that what's going to happen with AI is we're going to go through this very uncomfortable and I think very difficult, almost peak performativeness, right? Another context of that would be dating apps, right? On dating apps, we try to, take the picture that shows me in my best light and I write the thing and now the AI is going to fix that picture for me. Then it's going to write that thing for me. And it's actually going to interact with your dating app persona. And those two personas are going to have this conversation. And at some point we're going to meet in person. We're going to realize that none of that was true. And so what I think is going to happen is we're going to get this kind of like dramatic increase in performativeness to a point where we're going to reach this kind of peak of it and it's just going to burst. And then we're going to go back to meeting people in person. And then that all that stuff, all that intermediated bullshit is going to go away because we're not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe anything anybody says unless I see them saying it, right? I'm not going to believe anything. And so it's going to, I think, reconnect us to this need for a closer to real sense of the other. And it's going to allow us to be more honest about who we are, I think.